My name is Kara Harville, and I'm here to talk to you about the differentiated classroom. To begin with, let's answer the question, what makes a differentiated classroom? This is a classroom where teachers do whatever it takes to reach all of their students, whether these students are struggling, advanced, in between, and varied cultural heritages, or different background experiences. Teachers of a differentiated classroom want to help each student grow as much as they possibly can. There are two givens in any differentiated classroom. The first being that there are content requirements called standards that both students and teachers will have to meet. The next is that students will vary as learners. Teachers should be willing to reach students on a wide variety of interests and levels. Knowing that, let's talk about the basis of differentiation. Learning environments should actively support learners and learning. Teachers should strive to have an inviting learning environment as well as thoughtful curriculum. Teachers should actively attend to student differences. They should understand that students have the same basic needs, but they should also understand that they should fulfill these needs through a variety of practices. The curriculum should be organized to support student learning. In general, curriculum should be designed around the essential knowledge, understanding, and skills of each subject. However, in the differentiated classroom, the goal is for students to have a firm grasp on the concept as a whole, rather than being required to memorize all of the details. In addition, assessment and instruction should be inseparable. Assessment should be diagnostic and ongoing rather than purely summative. A variety of both formative and summative assessments should be used to measure understanding so that the teacher can modify the upcoming lessons. The teacher should modify content, process, and products based on the student readiness and interest. Teachers and students should also collaborate throughout the learning process. They should use the results from the formative and summative assessments to see what they need to target next. Knowing that, let's talk about the philosophy of differentiation. There are three basic principles in the philosophy of differentiation. The first being that diversity is normal and valuable. The second being that it is the teacher's responsibility to be the engineer of student success. And the last being that educators should be the champions of every student who come through the doors of the school. This is based on the science that intelligence is variable and that the brain is malleable. Our brains can grow and be strengthened just like any other muscle in our body. There are a variety of instructional strategies that teachers can use to support differentiation. Teachers can use stations, agendas, centers, tiered activities, learning contracts and contract-like strategies, compacting, literature and discussion circles, and the jigsaw technique. The best way to see what a differentiated classroom looks like is to compare it to a normal classroom. In the normal classroom, student differences are often masked and they're acted upon whenever problematic. However, in the differentiated classroom, student differences are valued and they're used as the basis of instructional planning. In the normal classroom, the teacher believes that some students are smart while others are not, and they teach accordingly. However, in the differentiated classroom, the teacher believes that all students have the capacity to succeed, and they support that belief through teaching up and the differentiated instructional planning. In the normal classroom, student interest is hardly ever tapped, and there are relatively few approaches to learning that are offered. In the differentiated classroom, students are frequently guided and supported through interest-based choices, and there are many approaches to learning and teaching. In the normal classroom, there's only one definition of excellence that exists. However, in the differentiated classroom, excellence is defined in terms of both individual growth and the recognized norms. In the normal classroom, whole class instruction dominates. However, in the differentiated classroom, many instructional groupings are used. In the normal classroom, single options assignments are the norms, but whenever using the differentiated model, multi-option assignments are common. In the normal classroom, time is relatively inflexible, but in the differentiated classroom, time is used flexibly and in accordance with what the students need to learn. In the normal classroom, a single interpretation of ideas or events, or a single right answer, is what is typically sought. However, in the differentiated classroom, multiple perspectives on ideas, issues, and events are routinely sought. In the normal classroom, the teacher is what directs student behavior. However, in the differentiated classroom, the teacher facilitates the development of student skills of self-reliance and collaboration. In the normal classroom, the teacher solves most classroom problems. However, in the differentiated model, students help each other and the teacher to solve the problems. In the normal classroom, the grading process communicates only the performance, not the process and the progress of the students. But in the differentiated model, the grading process reflects student performance, work process, and growth. At its core, differentiation is an instructional model that focuses on how teachers teach and how students learn in a classroom rather than what they teach and what students learn.